WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. In this case, I have something from Yellowstone, hand-picked collection, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, hand-selected by Perola. It's a 700 milliliter bottle, really is. Says so also on the back from the importer. And it is 57.5%, and it was barreled on the so where was this here? It was on the 7th of November 2016. I also, in America, do month, day, year. And in Germany and the rest of the world, we basically do day, month, year. That was the problem. 240 bottles in total. And cask number 7415577. I have no idea what that means. So 105 proof. No, it's 115 proof is what it says here. So on Whiskybase, it says 105 proof, which is wrong. It's 115. So Whiskybase 183623. Now this goes for 109 euros over here in Europe. I have no idea what you're paying for a hand-picked selection from Yellowstone, but that's the price we have to pay over here. Don't forget, we're paying 25%. Duty on top of that, excise tax, and so yeah, if you have a 100 euro bottle, it's going to be 125 with taxes on top of it, extra just because of this tariffs disagreement still between the U.S. and America. Now, this agreement had nothing to do with Airbus and Boeing. It had all to do with steel and aluminum. So I don't hear anyone talking about anything going on at the moment in the State Department over there. I do know a few distilleries are waiting. Some of the bigger distilleries, Michters and so on, are waiting for 2022, where they hope that this issue will finally be resolved by then to bring over new stock to Europe. All right, very, very good. So now I've watched a little bit about Limestone Branch Distillery, which is the owners of the brand Yellowstone. So it's a Yellowstone bourbon, but it's bottled by. Oh, I'm going to read the back of the bottle here. I love this. This says distilled and aged in Kentucky, bottled by Limestone Branch Distillers in Lebanon, Kentucky. That says a lot now, doesn't it? Distilled and aged in Kentucky, but bottled by Limestone. Yay. So this was not something Limestone made. This is something they bought. That's a little bit of a shame, isn't it? Well, I guess we have to get used to it. 2000, was it? When was it? 2014? Let's see it. 2014, Lexco bought 50% of Limestone Distillery. 2021, basically, MGP bought Lexco. So, ta-da, we have a Lexco product. Now, what is the MGP, the supplier of independently sourced whiskey, a rye whiskey for the world? What is that for for Kentucky? Barton's. So many people say this is Barton's. Now, Lexco did have an agreement with Heaven Hill for them to produce a lot of the whiskey, but I don't think this is it. I'm still going to try to compare it to an Elijah Craig. This is an Elijah Craig 12-year-old. I have batch, what do I have? I have, I have batch B5119, and it's 61.1%. So the only problem I have with the comparison here, this is 12-year-old juice. This is 4.5-year-old juice. So it is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Very, very good. Now, I'm not really sure about the 1872 things about the distilleries. Yes, we have the brothers, Steve Beam and Paul Beam. On the father's side, they belong to the Beam family. On the mother's side, they belong to the Dance side. But they sold the Limestone name and all that way back in the 70s. And so, that was 1981, I'm sorry. And what happened was basically they restarted in 2012, I'm sorry. And so there's a little bit of a break there. Let's see, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. So 30 years basically where they didn't do anything. And then to say, hey, since 1872, not my favorite words. Okay, question of the day is where do you get a lot of wild cherry? Almost like an artificial wild cherry moment, because that's what I get here. I get a lot of the wild cherry. I think a lot of time I get a nice cherry moment is with Four Roses, but that couldn't be, could it? All right, so we're gonna try the Yellowstone here, the 57.5%. Cheers. Now, it is hot. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Now let's get that cherry, plum, a little bit of oak in there. Not much tobacco, not much pecan, not much sugar, not much cotton candy, but it's got a good solid cherry note to it. In comparison to this, the 61.1% Elijah Craig. This drink's smooth. Now it is 12 years old. You have a lot of a wood moment towards the end here. Good, good stuff. Now, could I imagine that this is the same thing as this, but just 4 years old? Yes. But there is a slight difference there. Their flavor profiles are not really overlapping. There's like a 35, 55. Let's go for about a 50% so overlap of the bourbon flavors that we're used to. But there's a lot of outer edges there that are very, very different. Like I said, a lot of cherry. You put some water in this, take it down to 52%, 53%, somewhere between 50 and 53%, and it gets really, really nice. Mmm. Mmm. I do like that. Very nice. Wow. Good stuff. I'm going to give this actually a B minus C plus plus on my scale here. Very, very well done. Wow. The only problem is the price. 109 euros. So I can get two of these for the price of one of these. I just recently bought Booker's over here. Here it is. I was buying these for 60 some euros each. I can almost buy two of these for one of these. They're supposed to be 80 euros, but somebody had them on sale for 64, and I bought a case of them, six of them. And the 2021 version, the 01E, which is the first one from with, what is it? 62.95%. Like it a lot. I'd rather have 1 3/4 of these than one of those. All right, so if I'm going to be very, very honest, I'd take one of the Jack Daniels here, single barrel proof, and add a Wild Turkey 101 1 liter bottle on top of that. I'm still under the 109 euro mark. So my question of the day is: imagine you had 109 euros, 109 pounds, $109. I don't care. With yen, it's going to be difficult. I'm sorry for the guys or Australian dollars can be also very difficult. But the equivalent of about 109 euros. What would you buy instead? As I said, two of these any day of the week, basically. They're running about 65. So I can't get exactly two, but you know what I'm talking about, all right? So thank you very much for watching. This is a German exclusive. There are still a lot of them out there. You're going to find them. Not many people are willing to dig deep into the pockets and go for the 109 euros to buy a bourbon, especially if it's a bourbon that's 4 years old according to the label here, right? It was 2016 barreled, and 2021 November 2016 it was barreled, and in the spring of 21 bottled, and so not really sure if that's going to be it's going to not going to go quickly, but the 240 some bottles will disappear. There will be people to buying them, and there will be people encouraging other people to buy them, and yeah, that's the way things are. All right, so if you ever do go to Limestone Branch Distillery, they have they need, according to what I watched online, they need to almost do 3 runs on their pot stills, because the last pot still is 600 liters. And so they're getting about 60 some liters at the end in order to fill one barrel. So they're doing 1 barrel a day max. No way in the world is this from them, all right? So, and the minor case is also not from them, but that's all right. Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Please like, subscribe, and tell others. Bye-bye.